So the point being here that Mary was treated like every other person. Now, obviously, there was an enormous amount of respect for her. And remember that Christ had said, John, here's your mother. So Christ took care of his mother, and I'm sure John did exactly what Christ mentioned here, but she is not raised above. They're not putting her in the center of this group. They're not treating her in a special way that would be implied by an immaculate conception or even worshiping her, as unfortunately a lot of goings on today do. And I'd like you to also just notice in this verse, and Mary, the mother of Jesus, with his brethren. So some of his brothers and maybe his sisters, we don't know, were also in that group. And undoubtedly, James was there too, because he became an apostle, and he was the first bishop of the church in Jerusalem as well.
Okay, verse 12 says, and being warned of God in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed into their own country another way. Do you have some more information about that, Sam, to bring it all together?
Matthew knew, in order to be able to say they departed into their own country, he knew which country they came from. And so I think that that's an interesting point.
Also in this verse, it said that God warned them in a dream. And nowadays, a lot of people use dreams to get interpretations of what they mean, go to different people to ask them questions, thinking it means something important for their future. So can you give us some more insight about this dream or dreams when it comes to the Bible?
Yes, dreams do play a very important role in the Old Testament and also in the New Testament, and it is definitely a means of communication that God uses with his servants. And we have many examples that we could turn to, which we won't. For instance, he communicated with Abraham, with Joseph, with Daniel, with Joseph, who was Christ's father as well, with Peter and with Paul. All of these great servants of God had that kind of communication with God. But I want you to note over in Deuteronomy chapter 13, notice in verse 1 here, if there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and gives you a sign or a wonder, and the sign or the wonder come to pass whereof he spoke unto you, saying, let us go after other gods which you have not known, and let us serve them. You shall not hearken to the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams. For the Lord your God proves you to know whether you love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. So, yes, God uses dreams to communicate with his servants and to let us know certain things, but he also tells us, be careful, because not all prophets and not all dreamers, even if they say certain things and certain things come to pass, that is not a sign that they are godly people. And he goes on to say here, because they do signs, they think that they can lead you astray. And he says, let us go after other gods which you have not known. And God says, do not follow them. And God's allowing this in order to prove us.
Uncover the mystery of Adam and Eve's nakedness. Unravel the ambiguous connection between the Hebrew term for naked and the serpent's subtlety. Join us for this free mini-course and gain a profound new perspective on biblical Hebrew. TheExplanation.com/naked